Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Groomsman. This is Scott for Our2Bits on Van Yulay, or however you want to say it, Soap of the Gods. I have Tabac de la Vela soap, which is supposed to smell like tonka bean and slight hint of wood and vanilla. It's supposed to be, a little bit of a citrus smell. And I've used this soap already a few times because I've never used it before. But I'm going to be getting that loaded up with, as you see here, this is an Ever Ready single edge. It goes by a few different names. There's also a gem known as a gem streamline, or an Ever Ready pearl. This has gone by. It goes by various names. This is one of the very last ones ever made. Ever Ready's made. It was made in the 1950s. This is a UK razor. I have this on loan right now. It does take a standard gem blade, so I'm going to go ahead and get that loaded up. This is my first time using this. I'm hoping you guys like the new angle so you can see that, there's better soap here, or better angle for removing. So just like any other gem, you just kind of load it up by opening the top cap. I know this is an Ever Ready, but you load it at the top cap, adjust the blade in, and you just kind of put it down. And then you can see there's the blade gap and blade profile for that thing. So I'm going to be using this soap, which is a set sent to us by Monica, the owner of the company. It is a whole kit. I have the pre-shave, the soap, the serum, and so on and so forth. And I have yet to use the pre-shave. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a shake, as I can see that this is supposed to be the star of the show. This is made with emu oil, red castor, sea buckthorn, calendula, botanical acids, tea tree, and hydrolyzed oat. Okay, so let's go ahead and give this a little bit of a rub in. So I'm going to pump it into my hand here and rub it into my beard. And this is what you use for your pre-shave. So I am 2 pumps in. Let's see. So a total of about 7 pumps to cover my whole face and get it rubbed in real good here. No need for water is what I'm told with this, so I'm not going to use the water. I'm just going to rub it in. Alright, I can see you got the sheen on your face from it. Alright, so then I'm going to go ahead and use my Best Badger brush by Razor Aquarium. Get this thing loaded up. I don't care, hot, cold water. I tub load with this soap, just like most soaps. So I'm going to go ahead and, give it the old 30-second swirl here. So let my brush, and all I do is I just kind of alternate back and forth in the tub. It's a deep enough tub that you can do it without getting the soap everywhere. And, you can see, once you start to see your bristles like that start sticking together, that means you're good. You see how the bristles here are really loaded and they're sticking together. So that means that this is loaded up. So I'm going to go ahead. This is it's a harder pack soap. So being that this is like my 4th time using it, I'm going to tell you the scent. I'm not a huge, no specific names of scent guys like some of the other groomsmen. I am more of a plain Jane, what stuff smells like kind of person. And to me, when I smell this, I'm kind of like, I get like a little bit of that like almond type scent from Jergens, baby powder, and then wood smell. When I mean by wood smell, I don't mean like cedar, I don't mean like maple. I'm not talking some kind of smoky scent or something along those lines. What I mean is when I say I get a wood smell, it smells like a piece of wood, like a 2x4 or something along those lines. And consulting with the other groomsmen, I suppose this is what that's supposed to smell like. So I was a little on the scent note. It's not overly powering, just it was a little bit different than what I was thinking it would be. So what I do is after you take the tub load, you take it to your bowl, add water, and start to kind of blossom the soap, so to speak, and build your lather. And it builds a really nice lather. It's, as you can see, all right, so I will say that it has a nice base to it. It's not quite the scent that I was thinking, but hey, you know, I'm not a huge scent guy. So, it sounds like it's supposed to be where it's supposed to be, where it's at, you know. So wet up the razor, like always. And the single edge razor is a little bit more complicated to say. I've never used this blade, so I don't know how forward this thing's gonna be, to be honest. Um, I have about 4 days growth, so that pre-shave and soap are very, very slick. You know, I hate most gems. I'm gonna be straight with you. Most gems and Eveready's, I've used almost all of them, and I own almost all models. This is one model that I do not own, but I've heard is always so smooth. Someone told me they compared this to the Gem G Bar. I'm gonna tell you right now, the G Bar by Gem is not even close to this thing. This is unbelievably smooth. But the soap itself and pre-shave are giving me a great slickness. I am not feeling this blade at all. And that could be A, the razor, and B, the soap. But like I said, it smells like baby powder, a little bit of almond, and then kind of like a 2x4 wood, the woody smell. So from when I'll put in the video the scents it's supposed to be, and from what I'm told by the other groomsmen, it's a hit. So this pre-shave oil, it really, my wife has used it too, and tried the soap too, and does really like the pre-shave. Pre-shave is fantastic. She tried the vegan bar soap that she sent with this too for us. I didn't try it, so the vegan bar soap, like most artisan soaps, doesn't create a ton of like suds like you expect to see from a commercial soap, like Dove or something along those lines. But it does do a very good job cleaning with like the removal of deodorant and so on and so forth, like that. Yeah, so I mean, I can't complain. This soap is doing its job. The scent strength isn't overboard, at least in this. I haven't done any of the um, aftershaves yet with this. I can say my wife used the aftershave on her legs because she, you know, obviously shaved her legs. And it was about 2 hours after the fact, and I could still smell it on her legs. So it is there. I'm not going to rinse in between. I'm going to just kind of do this, and then I'm going to put the next lather on. With being a pre-shave, I shouldn't have to, or being an oil, I shouldn't have to, especially being, it should be repelling water if it's a true oil based. So I'm going to just go ahead and put on my second coat of lather there. Add a little bit of water. Getting a little wet, a little dry. It makes lather for days. I mean, look how much lather I have. One thing you often do that to see how much it holds, and you can see that it's got quite the gap before it separates. So it has a good cushion. If you put it between your fingers and give it a little smush smush, you can feel it. And I just showed you what kind of performance I was looking at there. I mean, I was getting, what, almost an inch separation there on that. So let's go ahead and put this up on the second thing here, and good second pass. I'm not gonna lie, this razor is fantastic. I like it. Yeah, I may have cut myself, but you know, I always cut myself, so what else is new? Alright. So here we go. So the scent might not be overpowering. But like I said, I get the wood smell. It's like a straight up 2x4. That's what I think of when I smell it. But you know, me and scent notes are, it's lost on me. I might be the scientist of the group, but you know, I don't go around and became a perfume buff and knowing this and that about stuff. I know my stuff about razors, being my collection. I know my stuff about what I do for a living and that, and amongst other things, working in cars and all that stuff. But comes to that, you know. And you know, one thing I want to get on here. You know, people who are daily shavers, it might not look like they're removing anything, man. But I'm gonna tell you what. I did daily shaving Wednesday and Thursday this week. Wednesday I had like 10 days growth, and then Thursday was just, you know, one day because I had something going on, so I decided to try a horrible idea. If you're not used to it, ease into it. Do like every other day. Don't go all in or all out like I did. I went 2 days in a row, and man, was it nuts. I had crazy razor burn and stuff, so I won't do that again. So yeah, second pass is just as smooth as the first pass with this soap. So I can see when she says, you know, don't rinse in between the second or first and second go here. I don't know that I would try to go another one without adding some water or more pre-shave oil. But my oil, it does feel like soft, like I can still feel that the oil is there. So I guess I'm not gonna maybe rinse, but I'm gonna just kind of put the pre-shave on as it is right now and go from there. There's a post-shave balm she sent, aftershave balm, and aftershave splash. And to be honest with you, I don't really know what the difference is here between the two. So we're gonna go with the splash. All right, so it's a plastic applicator, you know, give it a shake. That I meant to put stuff back here. And this is not alcohol based. It's I think it's witch hazel based, if I remember right. You know, so a little bit of a burn. The scent. See, now the scent on this smells different than the scent in the soap. Not to like crazy extent, but this is definitely more floral. I get more of a cherry almond smell out of this than I do like 2x4 and baby powder on the soap itself. So I'm assuming this is scented just like that. I don't know. See, now this has got a more of a scent in line that I like. You know, I'm not dissing the scent, just it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But that's because if I read a scent profile, I don't know half the stuff in it. Well, I know what it is, but I don't know what it's supposed to smell like, you know. So that's why when I get something like the soap here and I use it and I go, it smells like baby powder, I guess. I don't know, you know. Just me. I have a redneck upbringing, so, you know, the sense of cologne of what you were wearing was the, you know, Bud Light that you spilled on you from the previous night. That was your cologne for the day, you know, kind of thing. So, or it was just straight up Brute or Old Spice, and that was about the only type of cologne you put on it, and that isn't even cologne. It's aftershave splash for the most part. So, anyway, what do I feel? Vignoli Soap of the Gods. It's a good soap, especially considering it's from a lesser known artisan. Monica isn't, you know, PAA or 345 or any of those yet. She took some time off. She's coming back into the soap game. Has unbelievable number of scents. I will put her link down in the low for the description. So, I mean, I give the scent on this, to me, strength, it's somewhere around a 5.5 to 6. See, the aftershave in mine, man, I know it lasts, first off, because my wife has used it, so I know it lasts. The scent does for at least a couple hours. I mean, and the scent is, it's fairly strong. I can feel it and smell it off my face, and I give it somewhere 7 to 7.5 on that. Performance of the soap, I give the soap performance about an 8, maybe a 9. We'll go 8.5. We'll go 8.5 on the soap performance. I'm not going to give it a perfect 10. To be honest with you, I haven't really met any soap that's on a perfect 10 for performance. I don't even know what it would have to do to be, a perfect 10 in my book. But I give most soaps between a 6 and 8. And this is definitely on the higher end of 8.5, 8.5 for usability on that. It definitely builds a quick lather. It's a thirsty soap, so you got to add water sparingly, by little drips or a little bit of really light action. And the razor, Never Ready Streamline or Pearl or whatever you want to call it, Gem makes one just like it. I do believe I am going to have to go find one of these because this is a very good shaving razor for being a Gem. I'm not a huge fan of Gems, but I can get down with this. So thank you everybody for joining me today on Our2Bits. I know I didn't do the scientist in-depth dive into the saponification and the different types of oils and stuff that we got in here. And yes, emu oil is what it sounds like. It is an emu oil coming from a bird. So this is not a vegan-based soap, all right? So I want to just give a heads up. Stearic acid, coconut fatty acid, palm stearic, castor. Judging by the soap, the hardness of this soap, I'm going to give you an honest. I think she does somewhere like a 65-35 of hard ingredients on this. And what I mean at hard is they would be solid at room temperature is what I mean that. Because typically you shoot for somewhere around a 60-40 with this before you go into saponification where you're adding your different lyes to this. But the hardness of this, from what I can tell, this is, and looking at her ingredients, definitely, it's more of a harder type stuff, which is fine. It lends itself, to be honest with you. I've used this thing quite a few times, and I barely wore the top off of the soap that's in here. So this has been used 5 different times now. And my wife just continues to lather off this. It worked for her legs. She really liked the pre-shave oil and the wateriness of the aftershave. My wife really appreciated this. So the soap wasn't bad. It works. It does its job. It's a decent base and so on and so forth. So I'm definitely going to be looking at some different scent profiles and maybe picking up a couple more different scents from her. And all right, well, thank you, everyone. Those are my thoughts, my 2 bits. And look for the link for Yulay soaps down in the description below. Thanks and have a good day.